Building on the Las Vegas Strip is always a gamble. It's a crowded stretch of concrete in the middle of a desert where space is expensive and the weather is unforgiving. Yet every year new resorts rise, hoping to strike it rich. This hotel took that risk to the extreme. The Fontainebleau Las Vegas stands 68 stories tall on a 25-acre footprint. Inside, you'll find over 3,700 rooms and suites, a 16,258 square meters casino, top-tier restaurants, and enough pools and entertainment to keep you busy for weeks. It's big, it's bold, it's pure Vegas excess. But this glitzy exterior hides a truly wild history. Announced in 2005, construction started 2 years later. Delays, lawsuits, even the 2008 financial crisis couldn't stop the project until it did. In 2009, with the resort 70% finished, funding vanished and the Fontainebleau filed for bankruptcy. It sat, unfinished, for nearly a decade. So how did a multi-billion-dollar project end up resurrected after all those years? Look here at the north end of the Las Vegas Strip. That blue tower dominating the skyline, that's the Fontainebleau. It's a monument to ambition that nearly crashed and burned. The story starts in 1948, way down south on the Strip, with a small, unassuming casino and hotel called the Thunderbird. It was classic old-school Vegas. Think Rat Pack, neon lights, and low-stakes gambling. The Thunderbird went through a few changes over the years, even got renamed the Silverbird for a while, before becoming the El Rancho. But by the early 1990s, those glory days were long gone, and El Rancho closed its doors for good in 1992. In 2000, developers with grand plans swept in, imploding the El Rancho to make way for a new era of Vegas excess. But fate had other ideas. The 9/11 attacks shattered the economy, and the project died before it even began. Years passed, and all that remained was an empty desert lot. Then, in 2005, a new company announced that the Fontainebleau Las Vegas was coming. The concept was pure Vegas, a massive casino, thousands of luxury rooms, top-tier restaurants, and even a spa inspired by Iceland's famous Blue Lagoon. This was meant to rival the biggest resorts on the Strip, a testament to the belief that in Las Vegas, bigger is always better. They even bought an adjacent plot, the former Algiers Hotel, to make their dream even grander. Construction kicked off in 2007, and it was chaos from the start. Safety concerns halted work multiple times, and tragically, a construction worker was killed in an accident. If that wasn't enough, there was a huge fight with neighbors over a massive parking garage that blocked their Strip views. It seemed the Fontainebleau was a magnet for trouble, but nothing could prepare them for what happened next. The 2008 financial crisis struck, and funding for the project vanished overnight. Lawsuits flew, construction stalled, and by 2009, the Fontainebleau filed for bankruptcy. The towering blue shell, barely half-finished, became a symbol of Vegas's hubris, of the dream that went bust. For years, the Fontainebleau stood as a constant reminder of the city's boom and bust cycle. Would-be owners came and went, names changed, promises were made and broken. Yet the building remained stubbornly unfinished, a ghost on the Strip. Amazingly, the story doesn't end there. In 2021, in a twist no one saw coming, the original developer bought the resort back. The Fontainebleau name returned, construction crews were back on site, and after a staggering 18 years, the resort finally, unbelievably, opened in December 2023. But building on the Vegas Strip isn't just about money and vision. It's a battle against the elements, against tight deadlines, and against the city's unique challenges. So, could Fontainebleau's truly bizarre construction journey have created problems that even its extravagant design can't hide? Okay, let's get into the nitty-gritty construction details. First off, picture this. The Fontainebleau, Las Vegas stands a massive 68 stories tall, about 220 meters, making it a true giant on the Las Vegas Strip. Now, most of those flashy strip hotels are built with concrete, and the Fontainebleau's hotel follows suit. But the casino and the giant parking garage, those are structural steel, giving the complex a mix of strength and flexibility. Think about the foundation. Vegas sits in a desert, so bedrock is way too deep to build on. Instead, engineers drilled hundreds of enormous concrete caissons deep into the earth. Caissons are like giant pillars. Imagine the building gripping the soil with hundreds of concrete fingers. To transfer the building's weight, they poured a super thick slab, called a mat slab, on top of those caissons. This slab is crazy strong, up to 7 meters thick in places, designed to handle anything Vegas throws at it, from the crowds to the occasional desert earthquake. The hotel tower rises floor by floor using a symphony of concrete. The columns, those vertical supports, were each poured using special formwork. Think of it like giant reusable molds. The concrete they used for this was high strength, capable of withstanding 7 megapascals of pressure. That's like the weight of several cars stacked on a single square inch. The floors themselves are what's called flat plate construction, thick slabs of concrete poured in place using table forms. These tables were actually pre-built and moved from floor to floor as construction climbed higher. Engineers even planned for the finished building to settle slightly, so they poured those tables with a subtle upward curve. Now, the heart of the hotel isn't just one core, but 3. These house the elevators, the emergency stairs, you get the idea. The builders used a crazy cool system called self-rising formwork, where giant molds literally climb up the structure as it's being built. This let them pour both the core walls and the floors at the same time, speeding things up a ton. Of course, building in the Vegas heat brought its own special headaches. Temperatures can soar past 48 Celsius in the summer, so concrete work often started around 1 a.m. just to beat the worst of the daytime scorch. Since they used over 230,000 cubic meters of concrete, pumping it to those upper floors was no joke. Vegas lacks good natural aggregates, so the concrete has to be manufactured, which can make it harder to pump. They also had to be super careful about thermal cracking. When big chunks of concrete cure, they generate heat. If the center of a pour gets too hot and the outside cools too fast, you get cracks. Engineers kept the fresh concrete below 65 Celsius and even wrapped big pours in thermal blankets to keep the temperature even. Let's be real, the Fontainebleau is a Vegas legend with a price tag to match. Rooms start at $500 a night, but for the true high rollers, there's that $25,000 a night suite. So, is it worth the hype? First off, this place is huge. From the moment you step inside, you'll be in awe of that 67-foot-tall dome hovering above the casino floor. It's made of thousands of handcrafted glass tiles and has this crazy light show with over 1,000 LEDs dancing and changing colors. Imagine building that thing. They needed scaffolding stretching higher than most buildings. Now, for some serious relaxation, head to the Lapis Spa. This eco-friendly oasis covers a whopping 55,000 square feet. We're talking advanced hydrotherapy treatments in sleek rooms, waterfalls powered by a special closed-loop water system, and they even harvest rainwater, in the desert no less. Want to escape the heat? Hit the pool complex, a 6-acre sprawl of waterfalls, cabanas, and winding rivers. Keeping all that water clean and sparkling takes some serious engineering, powerful pumps, fancy filtration systems, the whole 9 yards. They even try to keep it eco-conscious, which is impressive when you're dealing with 650,000 gallons of water. Of course, powering a desert extravaganza this size isn't cheap. The Fontainebleau sucks down enough electricity to run a small town. We're talking about 175 million kilowatt hours a year. That's definitely a concern for the local power grid. So, what's the final verdict? The Fontainebleau is all about spectacle. And that spectacle comes at a cost, both in money and for the environment. Whether it's worth it for the experience? Well, that's up to you. Did the Fontainebleau blow your mind? Let me know in the comments. If you want more videos like this, hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget those notifications so you never miss an upload.